And our next guests are the writer and producers of the independent film Family Struggles. Here to take us into the process of making this film, which documents the struggle of immigrants, is affiliate of HI and Daniel Obeng. Welcome, guys, to the show.
Thank you very much.
Right. Now, you guys have been through a whole lot putting this together. It takes a whole lot of work, but
yes.
People just see the finished product. What are some of the things that you guys went through in putting this together?
You know, as independent film, it's very hard to even get the actors because we don't have, within our community, it's hard to get African actors to put together to make a film. And then also getting locations, because most of the time people don't really trust giving you their location to film a movie, a lengthy 10-hour movie, 10 hour a day.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes it was hard getting a location. So something that we thought we were going to use 2 weeks to film, it took us 3 months to finish the film.
Yeah. Wow. It took a lot of hard work and dedication to put it all together, right?
Yes.
But out of this, you started a production company, OA Vision Productions.
Well, it's a very Herculean task, actually, coming up with all of that. OA simply means Ophelia A Chance Production. I'm the co-producer of the. And what really motivates us is that actually we Africans have not had a chance to tell our story. Our story has been told for us. Yes. And when somebody is telling you your story, he will not be able to tell it right.
Right.
Most stories of film pertaining to Africa does not depict the realities of Africa.
Exactly.
Yes, and consequently, people from African descent are even ashamed to associate themselves with African. So we think
you mean the ones living here?
The ones living here, and especially people who were born here, right? Because of the images that they see on TV, Africa is always characterized by animals and other stuff that
I'm
are
glad
a little
you
bit
said
shameful.
that. You know why? Because I was in Africa and we had, it was like a debate. I wouldn't call it an argument. It was a debate, and we had American Africans talking to Africans that lived in Africa. And the Africans were saying, well, you depict us as what you see on the, what's the channel where you see all the animals and
channels and Animal Planet, they associate us with those things.
He said that's not us.
Which
We're
is very
intelligent
shameful.
people, you know, we do a lot of the things that you do. You may be a little more advanced in, you know, some areas, but you know, we do the same thing. And so the American Africans said, well, you think we're thugs and da-da-da-da. That's because of all the reports of the crime. They were going back and forth, and I was recording all of that stuff. You know?
Awesome. That's great.
But you got an opportunity to see how each group thinks about the other group.
Oh, yes. I mean, the images that you see on TV tells it all.
Yeah.
And we think that although it's a Herculean task, but a 1,000 miles journey always begins with a step. We have taken it upon ourselves to tell our own story.
Yeah.
A perfect example is Coming to America. There was a scene where Eddie Murphy was looking for an apartment.
Yes.
So they went to this room and they saw this rat or mouse running around the room. And when he expressed shock, meanwhile he was from a royal family and has never seen such thing before. So when he expressed shock, the landlord said, don't you sleep with this in Africa? Right. Which you know is a power shadow of the truth.
I remember that scene. Yes.
So I mean, such things have subliminal effect, and we are doing everything that we can, at least to tell our own story.
Yeah.
And that's what motivates us to come up with.
But there was one good thing in there, you know. Remember Eddie Murphy said that part. He said, if you were my wife, I make love to you constantly. But, you know, tell us more about this film, Family Values. What's it all about? Tell us about it.
Family Values is about Africans living in the United States, how we value our family, because at the end of the day, we came with our own culture. In Africa, we have our own culture. And then we move into America with just maybe our husbands and our kids. And there's another culture in America where two different cultures, it becomes very hard for a husband or a wife to, you know, dissect how are we going to live here with a different culture, and then we come into another culture, especially in marriages, is very tough.
Is it like culture shock? when you come
Yes.
to America and you see all this fast-moving stuff.
Fast moving stuff, and then also with this film back in Africa, you know, now it's changed a little bit, but before I came here, you see the women stay at home doing the cooking, the cleaning, and the men go to work.
But over here it's not
But
like
over
that.
here it's different. The woman work and the man works. So at the end of the day, how can we come together as married people, going to work and not leaving the woman to do everything in the house?
Oh, yeah.
But to share responsibilities. If I have to go to work today, or if I take the kids to the doctor's appointment,
Then you cook and do the cleaning and do that
you
part.
know,
while I do that.
at least something 50-50, or at least
Yes.
take the kids to the appointment, or at least something that wouldn't be only a load on the woman.
Right, right.
Or, you know, and sometimes also it would not even just be the woman. Sometimes the men also help.
Yes.
As a woman also, if, you know, because some of the men would think, you know what, back in Africa,
Yeah,
it's
we don't
not
do
just-
that.
Yeah, we don't do that, but it's the reason why sometimes they don't even do is because we have our mothers. Some of us, we live with our mothers, our aunties, our uncles, and so
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
the whole extended family living in one big house.
There's still a lot of that stuff still happens in the South like that too.
Right.
Where you got the mother and the grandmother and everybody, all the
Exactly.
generations living under one roof.
Exactly.
So everybody chips in.
Exactly. So if you have a man, if the man doesn't even help, it's okay, because then the woman has a lot of people helping in the house.
Yeah.
But when you move to America, it's just you and your husband. So how are we as Africans or immigrants living in this country going to support each other, because we don't have anybody but ourselves,
Yeah.
so that we can raise our kids and then love each other and value our family?
So beautiful. So all of this took place. What part of Africa are you guys from?
We are from Ghana.
Ghana, West
Ghana,
Africa.
West
Yes.
Africa,
Yes, yes. Beautiful. So when you come back, you got to bring us some nice African garb and stuff.
Oh,
Is that a
we
problem?
definitely-
I still have about, I got about 8-9 pieces in my closet right
It's
now.
not a problem.
That's
To
right.
add to what Ophelia said, one thing is that what works in Africa automatically will not work here, right? So
Yeah.
people will have to understand the environment in which they live. Because in Africa, like she said, because of the external family system, you always have the support of your uncles and people there to support. But over here, people are very individualistic, me, myself, and I. Now, if you are trying to implement the same ideology in this country, you are bound to fail.
Yeah.
You are bound to fail. And that's the main problem facing most Africans.
Yeah.
They do not know when to accept the American culture, and they don't know when to bring in the African culture. So most Africans sometimes are confused.
Yeah. So what do you want people to learn from the work that you guys are doing?
Well, it has to do with 4 families, and I will just summarize it. That you have one who believes that the woman should do everything, consequently does not try to learn anything at home. What happens if something happens to the woman, and you have 4 kids or 5 kids?
Yeah.
You have the other one who is so blessed with a very good husband. People do not know the value of what they have until they lose it.
Yeah.
Took it for granted, and the man becomes fed up. Now what happened? You have the other one who is living nicely and peacefully with a man that she's not married to. She's not married to. And there is so much pressure on her to get married. Now, what happened if she also gives up? Because the guy is not prepared to get married.
Right.
And you have the other one who also who was also here by himself, and his wife was in Ghana, living with another woman here. Now, his wife comes from Ghana, and what happens next? Concerning the finances, how do you save your money? A joint account or separate accounts? How do you do it? So these are the problems that are facing Africans, and we want to undress it and address it.
This is very interesting. Where can people get more information on this?
We have our oavisionproduction.com or Facebook. We have set a Facebook for the film Family Values. So if people go to oavisionproduction.com, they will see the trailer, and also we have the oavision.com Family Values. So Family Values in parentheses oavision.com YouTube. They will definitely see there.
Give them a big round of applause, everybody. Very good. Ophelia H.I. and Daniel Bang, OA Vision Productions. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
On the 31st of August, we are showing Family Values at Assemblies of God Church, 2151 Jerome Avenue, and all are invited.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. All right. When we return.